Hey everyone, 50% of people fail their DMV test. Pass on your first try with DMVTestMaster.com.
Hey there, future truck drivers and commercial vehicle operators. Are you serious about getting your commercial driver's license, CDL, and hitting the road? If so, you've come to the right place. The first step on that journey is passing the CDL General Knowledge exam, and trust us, it's not something you want to take lightly. To help you ace your 2025 CDL permit test, we've put together the most comprehensive, easy-to-use study guide you'll find online. This isn't just a list of questions, it's a breakdown of the core topics, filled with real exam questions and expert tips that apply to all 50 states. So, grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's get you that CDL. Part 1. Pre-trip vehicle inspection. Real questions. Knowing your rig inside and out is the most critical part of being a commercial driver. The pre-trip vehicle inspection section of your test proves you understand that safety comes first. Tip for this section: don't just memorize the list of things to check. Understand why you're checking each component and what a defect looks like. The examiner wants to see a systematic, thorough inspection. Q1. What is the most important reason for doing a pre-trip inspection? Answer: safety for yourself and other road users. This is always paramount. Q2. How often should you inspect your vehicle's tires and why? Answer: every 2 hours or every 100 miles, especially when driving in hot weather. Tires are crucial for preventing breakdowns and ensuring safety. Q3. What should you check the engine compartment belts for during a pre-trip inspection? Answer: look for snugness, cracks, or frays. This includes the power steering belt, water pump belt, alternator belt, and air compressor belt. Q4. What is the minimum tread depth for front tires on a commercial vehicle? Answer: 4/32 inch. Q5. What is the minimum tread depth for all other tires, non-front, on a commercial vehicle? Answer: 2/32 inch. Q6. When checking lug nuts, what are you looking for? Answer: they should be tight and you should check for rust streaks or shiny spots which indicate looseness. Q7. What are the 3 types of emergency equipment you must carry in your commercial vehicle? Answer: spare fuses, unless you have circuit breakers, 3 red reflective triangles, and a properly charged fire extinguisher. Q8. What should you check for when inspecting the steering system? Answer: look for play in the steering wheel, no more than 10 degrees or about 2 inches on a 20-inch wheel, a proper power steering fluid level, and the condition of all steering linkage parts. Q9. How do you test hydraulic brakes for leaks? Answer: pump the brake pedal 3 times, apply firm pressure, and hold for 5 seconds. The pedal should not move. Q10. Why should you put the starter switch key in your pocket during a pre-trip inspection? Answer: to ensure no one moves the vehicle while you are inspecting it, preventing a serious injury. Part 2. Driving safely. Next up, let's talk about driving safely. This is where you demonstrate your understanding of fundamental driving practices that keep you, your cargo, and everyone else safe on the road. Tip for this section: think defensively. Always consider the worst-case scenario and how to prevent it. Focus on space management, speed control, and communicating with other drivers. Question 26. How far ahead should a driver look while driving a commercial vehicle on the highway? Answer: 12 to 15 seconds. This allows enough time to identify hazards and react safely. Question 27. What are the 3 things that add up to total stopping distance? Answer: perception distance plus reaction distance plus braking distance. Question 28. If you double your speed, how much more distance does it take to stop? Answer: 4 times the distance. Question 29. What is hydroplaning, and how do you recover from it? Answer: hydroplaning occurs when your tires lose contact with the road due to a layer of water. To recover, release the accelerator and push in the clutch, if manual, to allow the vehicle to slow down and regain traction. Do not brake or steer sharply. Question 30. What is black ice and why is it dangerous? Answer. Black ice is a thin layer of ice that is clear, making it very difficult to see. It is dangerous because it provides almost no traction, often catching drivers by surprise. Question 31. When driving at night, how far ahead should your headlights allow you to see? Answer. You should keep your speed low enough that you can stop within the range of your headlights. Question 32. When approaching a railroad crossing with a slow-moving vehicle sign, what should you do? Answer. Be prepared to stop if the nature of your cargo or state law requires it. Always check for trains before crossing. Question 33. What is off-tracking? Answer. Off-tracking is when the rear wheels of a vehicle follow a different path than the front wheels, especially on turns. The longer the vehicle, the more severe the off-tracking. Question 34. What is the safest way to back a commercial vehicle? Answer. Avoid backing whenever possible. If you must back, use a helper, get out and look, and back slowly. Question 35. When should you use your low-beam headlights? Answer. When meeting or following another vehicle within 500 feet, in fog, rain, or snow. Part 3. Air brakes. Moving on to a crucial system for many commercial vehicles, air brakes. If your vehicle has air brakes, you must understand how they work and how to inspect them. Tip for this section: know the components, how to test the system, and what to do in case of air brake failure. Question 66. What is the purpose of the air compressor in an air brake system? Answer. It pumps air into the air storage tanks, reservoirs. Question 67. What is the purpose of the air dryer? Answer. Removes moisture and oil from the air before it enters the air tanks. Question 68. How do you test the low air pressure warning signal? Answer. Turn off the engine when you have enough air pressure, turn on the electrical power, and pump the brake pedal to reduce air pressure. The low air warning signal, light and buzzer, should come on before the pressure drops below 60 psi in the air tanks. Question 69. What is the governor cutout pressure? Answer. Typically between 120 to 140 psi. This is when the air compressor stops pumping air into the tanks. Question 70. What are spring brakes, and when do they engage? Answer. Spring brakes are powerful springs that are held back by air pressure while driving. They engage automatically when the air pressure drops too low, typically 20 to 45 psi, or when the parking brake is applied. Question 71. Why should you never use the parking brake when the brakes are very hot, e.g. after coming down a steep grade? Answer. The hot brakes could cool and contract, trapping the parking brake and potentially causing the vehicle to move when released later, or causing damage. Question 72. What is a dual air brake system? Answer. A dual air brake system has two separate air brake systems, a primary and a secondary, each with its own air tanks, lines, and controls. One usually operates the front axle, and one operates the rear axle, providing a backup in case one system fails. Question 73. How do you check slack adjusters during a pre-trip inspection? Answer. With the vehicle parked on level ground and the parking brakes released, pull hard on each slack adjuster you can reach. The push rod should not move more than 1 inch. Question 74. What happens if the service line, blue, becomes disconnected during driving? Answer. You will lose service brake pressure to the trailer. The trailer's emergency brakes will likely engage automatically when the air pressure drops below a certain level. Question 75. How often should you drain your air tanks and why? Answer. Daily, to remove water and oil that can contaminate the air system and cause brake failure. Part 4. Combination vehicles. For those of you aiming for a Class A CDL, understanding combination vehicles is essential. This covers everything from coupling and uncoupling to safe driving practices with multiple units. Tip for this section: pay close attention to the coupling process, understanding the airlines, and how a trailer reacts differently than a straight truck, especially regarding skids. Question 91. Before backing under a trailer, how high should the trailer be? Answer. The trailer should be slightly lower than the fifth wheel, so the tractor raises it slightly when backing under, ensuring a secure connection. Question 92. What are glad hands, and what are their colors? Answer. Glad hands are coupling devices used to connect the service blue and emergency red airlines from the truck or tractor to the trailer. Question 93. What is the purpose of the emergency airline, red? Answer. It supplies air to the trailer air tanks and controls the emergency brakes on combination vehicles. Question 94. How do you test the fifth wheel connection after coupling? Answer. Gently pull the tractor forward with the trailer brakes locked to check for a secure connection. Question 95. What are two things that are important to prevent rollovers in combination vehicles? Answer. Keep the cargo as close to the ground as possible, low center of gravity, and ensure the brakes are properly adjusted. Question 96. If a trailer skids, what is the best way to correct it? Answer. Recognize the skid in your mirrors, stop using the brakes, release the foot brake, and steer gently to correct. Do not use the trailer handbrake to straighten out a jackknifing trailer. Question 97. Why should you not use the trailer hand valve, trolley valve, for parking? Answer. It can lose air pressure and potentially release the trailer brakes, allowing the trailer to roll. Use the parking brake, tractor protection valve, instead, and chocks if necessary. Question 98. When is it a good idea to lock the glad hands together or to a dummy coupler when not pulling a trailer? Answer. It keeps air from escaping and helps prevent dirt and moisture from entering the airlines. Question 99. What is the tractor protection valve for? Answer. It supplies air to the trailer air tanks and closes automatically if the air supply to the trailer drops too low, thus protecting the tractor's air supply. Question 100. How much space should be between the upper and lower fifth wheel plates? Answer. No space or a very small gap, indicating a secure coupling. Part 5. Transporting cargo safely. Approx. 20 questions. Host. Hauling cargo is a big part of a commercial driver's job. This section on transporting cargo safely ensures you know how to properly load and secure your freight. Tip for this section. Always remember you are responsible for your cargo, whether you loaded it or not. Focus on weight distribution, securing methods, and hazardous materials general knowledge. Question 111. Whether or not you load and secure the cargo yourself, what are you responsible for? Answer. Inspecting your cargo, recognizing overloads and poorly balanced weight, knowing your cargo is properly secured and does not obscure your view, and knowing your cargo does not restrict access to emergency equipment. Question 112. What is the definition of gross vehicle weight? GVW. Answer. The total weight of a single vehicle plus its load. Question 113. What is the definition of gross combination weight? GCW. Answer. The total weight of a powered unit plus trailers, plus the cargo. Question 114. What is the purpose of a bridge formula? Answer. It permits less maximum axle weight for axles that are closer together to prevent excessive strain on bridges and roadways. Question 115. How many tie-downs should cargo have, regardless of size? Answer. At least 2 tie-downs. Additionally, there should be at least 1 tie-down for every 10 feet of cargo. Question 116. What is blocking and how is it used? Answer. Blocking is used in the front, back, and/or sides of a piece of cargo to keep it from sliding. It's shaped to fit snugly against cargo and secured to the cargo deck. Question 117. How does a high center of gravity affect a vehicle, especially in turns? Answer. It makes the vehicle more prone to tipping over in curves or when swerving. Cargo should be distributed as low as possible. Question 118. What can too little weight on the driving axles cause? Answer: poor traction, making the drive wheels spin easily, especially on slippery surfaces. Question 119. What is outage or ullage in relation to tank vehicles? Answer: the amount a liquid tank falls short of being full, leaving room for expansion of the liquid. Question 120. When hauling liquids in a tank, why should the tank not be completely full or completely empty? Answer: partially filled tanks create liquid surge, which can affect handling and cause the vehicle to be unstable. It's best to have the tank as full as possible while leaving room for expansion. Part 6. Hazardous Materials. General Knowledge. Approx. 15 questions. Host. Even if you don't plan on getting your Hazmat endorsement right away, the General Knowledge Test will include some basic questions about hazardous materials. It's vital to understand the fundamentals. Tip for this section: focus on placards, shipping papers, and general safety procedures around hazardous materials. Question 131. What is the primary purpose of placarding a commercial vehicle? Answer: to communicate the risk of hazardous materials being transported to emergency responders and the public. Question 132. Where must placards be placed on a vehicle hauling hazardous materials? Answer: on all four sides of the vehicle, front, back, and both sides. Question 133. If you do not have a hazardous materials endorsement, can you haul a load requiring placards? Answer: no, you must refuse to haul the load. Question 134. Where must shipping papers describing hazardous materials be kept? Answer: in a pouch on the driver's door, in clear view within immediate reach while the seatbelt is fastened, or on the driver's seat when out of the vehicle. Question 135. What are 3 things you need to know to decide which placards, if any, you need? Answer: the hazard class of the materials, the amount of hazardous materials shipped, and the total weight of all classes of hazardous materials in your vehicle. Question 136. You must never smoke or perform any activity involving fire within how many feet of vehicles placarded for Class 1, explosives, Class 2, flammable gas, or Class 3, flammable liquids? Answer: 25 feet. Question 137. What should you do if your vehicle breaks down or is in an accident while carrying explosives? Answer: keep bystanders away. Warn others of the dangers. Do not allow smoking or open fire near the vehicle, and never use burning signals such as flares or fuses. Question 138. Who is responsible for classifying hazardous materials and providing the correct shipping papers and placards? Answer: the shipper. Question 139. What is a hazardous materials identification number? Answer: a 4-digit number used to identify hazardous materials on shipping papers and placards. Question 140. Can federal inspectors inspect your truck or bus if it's hauling hazardous materials? Answer: yes, and they can put it out of service if it is unsafe. Part 7. General driving knowledge and emergency procedures. Approx. 10 questions to round out 150. Host. To wrap things up and hit our 150 questions, let's cover a few more critical aspects of general driving knowledge and emergency procedures that are often intertwined throughout the exam. Tip for this section. These questions often test your common sense and ability to prioritize safety in unexpected situations. Question 141. What is the first thing you should do if your brakes fail on a downgrade? Answer: look outside your vehicle for another means of slowing it, such as an escape ramp. Question 142. When hydraulic brakes fail while driving, what action should you take? Answer: pump the brake pedal to generate pressure. Question 143. What is emergency braking? Answer: responding to a hazard by slowing the vehicle as quickly and safely as possible. Question 144. How can you tell if your vehicle is equipped with anti-lock brakes, ABS? Answer: Look for an ABS malfunction lamp on the dashboard that lights up when you turn on the key and then goes out. Question 145. If you are being tailgated, what is the best course of action? Answer: increase your following distance to create more space in front of your vehicle, giving you more time to react and the tailgater more room to pass. Question 146. What is sleep debt, and how can it be paid off? Answer: sleep debt is the accumulated amount of sleep you've lost. It can only be paid off by sleeping. Question 147. When confronted by an aggressive driver, what is the very first thing you should do? Answer: make every attempt to get out of their way safely. Question 148. What should you do if you need to leave the road in a traffic emergency? Answer: avoid braking until your speed has decreased to about 20 miles per hour, and try to get all wheels off the pavement if safe. Question 149. Which type of vehicle is most affected by strong winds? Answer: a set of empty doubles or a high-profile vehicle. Question 150. If a straight truck goes into a front wheel skid, what will it do? Answer: go straight ahead even if the wheels are turned. Conclusion and final tips. We just powered through 150 essential CDL General Knowledge questions. That was a marathon, but you're now one step closer to earning your CDL. Remember, practice makes perfect. Here are my top tips for passing your CDL General Knowledge exam on the first try in 2025, no matter what state you're in. 1. Use DMVTestMaster.com to prepare for your test and pass on the first try. Also read your state's CDL manual multiple times. You can download it on DMVTestMaster.com. This is your CDL Bible. Every question on the test comes directly from this manual. Don't just skim, understand the concepts. 2. Take practice tests regularly. Like this one. The more practice questions you do, the more familiar you'll become with the format and content. 3. Focus on understanding, not just memorizing. While some facts need to be memorized, truly understanding why a particular answer is correct will help you adapt to different question phrasings. 4. Break it down by category. Don't try to learn everything at once. Focus on one section, like air brakes or pre-trip inspection, until you feel confident, then move to the next. 5. Get enough rest, seriously. Being well rested on exam day will significantly improve your concentration and recall. 6. Don't rush on test day. Read each question and all answer choices carefully before selecting your answer. There are often trick answers. 7. Combine your study methods. The video that inspired this session, 100% pass. CDL General Knowledge Practice Test 2024. Real Exam Questions is also an excellent resource. Combine your study methods for the best results. You've got this. Register now on DMVTestMaster.com. Your journey to a successful career as a commercial driver starts here. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to DMVTestMaster.com for more CDL prep content, and share it with anyone else on their CDL journey. And once you pass, come back and leave a comment to tell us about your experience. Master the test and conquer the road. Drive safely, and I'll see you on the road.